Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We do that each and every day through our growing community, our engaging content, and our real connections. I'm so super excited about all of the exciting things that are going on, and I'm actually going to post and share right now. This is information as it relates to our Find Your Voice event that is going on. For those of you that don't see it on LinkedIn, I'll make sure to share another post today so you guys have it. I don't want you to miss out on the event. It is on 2/2, which is Monday, February 22nd. It is only $25 to attend, and we are doing a full lecture on being the ability for you to find your voice and for you to scream your dreams. So don't miss out. If you have people in your community that need to find their voice, if they've been working too long in a whisper, if you are one of those people, you need to join me on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We will be meeting via Zoom. Again, it's only $25 and giving you actually the workbook as well as the action steps needed for you to find your voice. So if there's somebody out there in your world that is whispering for way too long, I want to make sure that you guys are in a good space and finding and utilizing the tools that you need in order for you to get what you want. We're going to be addressing who you are, what you want, and why you deserve it. And I want to make sure that we have not only find our voices, but we use our voices to elevate where it is that we would like to be. So it's going to be a really awesome time. You don't want to miss out. Today and Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern, I share with you my morning message. The goal is for you to no longer whisper your wishes, for you to gain some sense of inspiration, not only for today, but to stay motivated, ideally, throughout the week. And I show up every day to be able to help in doing so, helping giving you that motivation, because I need it too sometimes. Good morning, Candy. Even those of us who are overly enthusiastic about our madness, overly enthusiastic about who we are, must practice the practice of screaming your dream. And I do it each and every day, and I encourage all of you to do the same. Today's morning message, though I just said that it's inspiring and it's supposed to be motivating, it's really about worry. I know so many of you consume your day with what it is that's going to happen tomorrow. And there's so much anxiety and pain that comes along with worrying about the outcome of something that you cannot control. The amount of space it takes up, right? The amount of space your worry takes up leaves no room for joy, leaves no room for you to understand who it is that you are, leaves no room for us to be able to figure out what it is that we're going to do. Worry paralyzes us in so many ways. Worry forces us to be in a space where we are completely occupying what it is that we are doing, completely overthinking what it is that we were doing. How many overthinkers do I have in this space? How many people are overthinking their space and time? How many people are constantly in a space of, oh my goodness, what if I do this? What if this happens? What if I make the wrong move? What if I make the wrong decision? What if I don't focus on what it is that I can do and I solely focus on what it is that I cannot do? What if I spend my week in worry? Because that's what we're doing. We are occupying our space and time with what ifs. We are occupying our space and time and our energy focusing on what could go wrong as opposed to focusing what could go right, planning for what could go right. And a lot of you were like, I'm not willy-nilly. I'm not in a space where I'm going to like envision and vision board. Maybe that's not the space, right? And I'm not asking you to be so Super Soul Sunday. And I'm not asking you to live in a vision board if that's not your space. I'm asking you, this is for my practical people. This is for my people who aren't necessarily even, if you're my vision board people, we're on the same wavelength. If we're on the writing the today list, we're on the same wavelength. But I'm talking to the cynics. I'm talking to the people like, Sheldon, I can't outthink myself. I can't get myself out of thinking about all the things that can't go well or won't go well. Good morning, Darby. Good morning, Lisa. I can't think. You know what I mean? I can't outthink myself in that way. I'm talking about the practical people. If you are a practical person who looks at things the way in which it is and sees that risk in the way in which things are, I want you to be practical about your time. You are probably equally as practical about not being wasteful, equally as practical about not, misusing every dollar that you have. And that is what worry does. It wastes money and it wastes time. Because the worry, the time you spend in that worry is wasteful. The time you spend in that worry, you must be lighting your time on fire, lighting the money that you could be making in that moment on fire. Why? Because you could be better using that energy, better using that time, better using that space in order to prepare for greatness, prepare for what's better, prepare for what you deserve, prepare for what you need, instead of worrying about what you do not have, worrying about what you are not capable of, worrying about so many outside factors. Good morning, Alicia. That will truly affect the way in which you live your life. That worry affects the way in which you stand. It affects the way in which you communicate. It affects the confidence in which you deliver the features and benefits of what you have sacrificed to do. That worry, you wear it. You wear it on your face. You wear it out your mouth. You wear it. Right? We know when individuals are walking into worry, or walking with worry, I should call it. When you're constantly in a space of uncharted territory where you don't know how to manage your emotions, and therefore it creates this space where nothing happens. Nothing happens. I'm not even saying good or bad. I'm saying nothing. We can learn from the bad and we can thrive in the good, but if nothing happens, I find that worse than making mistakes. I find that worse than being in a space where you have lost your money, you have lost your time doing nothing because you are sitting and walking in your worry. And I want to challenge you to think about what you are worrying about. And if you actually have control over it, if you actually can make a difference, and most likely, you can. And I'm not saying that this is going to work, this philosophy, this emotional connection or lack of connection to worry is going to work every single time. But the practice of it will allow for you to navigate it in a shorter period. I talk about the valley. The valley is a place in which you visit. It is not a place in which you live. And when we worry, we take residence in the valley. We start getting mail there and catering events there, and everybody around us, we're encouraging them to walk and worry. When we need to utilize that time, my practical people, my people that are like, this is risky. Okay, if you are spending the time worrying about the risk, the same amount of time can be spent ensuring that you can move forward, ensuring that you are taking one step at a time, ensuring that you are creating a space for yourself where the risk is shortened, but the movement is real. We must take a look at what we are worrying about, the reality of the worry. Does it even make sense to be worried? And are you doing what you need to do to alleviate the risk so the worry is less? Right? Agreed, Candy, right? The worry is less. And it is a practice, Alicia, like I said, it is a practice. It is not something that innately you wake up and you're like, I don't care, especially those practical people that are out there. Those individuals like myself that are like, okay, I got to look at every angle. But what happens when we do that, what happens when we are in that space is that we are losing, my darlings, we are losing time. And I have to be really honest, and this has happened more often than not to me. So this is an example that I am sharing. This is, good morning, Barbara. This is a space that I am in based on sharing it with you because I live it. This is a practice that I had and I continue to have to hone, a muscle in which I have to tone. This is something that I need for all of you to kind of understand, that it is not like a light switch that goes off and says, I got it all figured out. I no longer worry. It's the time in which you worry that you will never get back. It is the time in which you worry is most cases longer, 10 times, 3 times, 100 times longer than the task itself, than the opportunity itself, than the conflict itself, than the conversation itself. The worry outweighs the actual execution of what in fact you are worrying about, the presentation. The amount of time in which you worry literally is 100 times more than the length of the presentation that you are about to give. Always, I love to bring up my plight as a sprinter, right? As a former athlete. My sister, who I love, was always my manager. She's only a year older than me. And so she was the manager of the team. And she would see me work myself up. If Orinthea's listening, she knows Nina. And she would see me work myself up before I would run the 400 meters. And I was, at the time, a fast person, right? And I would work myself up, right? And if you've ever seen an athlete before a meet or before a game, and they have those nerves, and in track, I tend to have those kind of stomach grumbles, right? Not so cute at a track meet, right? But I started to get myself all worked up. And she would look at me and she would look me in the eye. She put her hands on my shoulders and she said, Sheldon, and I was fast at the time. She's like, this is less than a minute of your life. You are pacing back and forth. Your stomach is worked up for less than a minute of your life for something that you have practiced for. So something that you are innately talented at. You are working yourself up and this is less than a minute of your life and it will be over. Give yourself back the time. And to think of a 17-year-old, she was a 17-year-old person at the time having so much insight, right? But she did. She was very practical about the amount of time in which I was investing worrying about a race that didn't last longer than a minute. You are worrying about things that in the fraction of a moment, you are giving days and months of your time. So for those of us who are emotional and believe that there are better things and are hopeful, we can lean into that. For those that are practical and do not want to waste time or money on the risk, you are wasting time and money on the worry. That energy, that same energy that you have worrying about what you are not capable of doing, what you are unable to do, what you cannot do, what you should not do, you should be worried, or not, I'm sorry, you should be focused, don't be worried. You should be focused on what you will do and how it will come out. And ensuring that your risk is lessened and that your enthusiasm is high and that your plan is real. The amount of time that I worried and paced that field, hoping that I would finally win that race that only lasted less than a minute, win or lose. I would never get that time back. I would never sit with my colleagues and teammates. I was in the zone trying to figure it out, but not trying to get into the game, not preparing for the race, but sitting and walking in worry. There's difference. It was different than doing drills and perfecting the way in which my stride would look and be executed. That's not what I was doing. I was worrying. I was thinking about falling down and tripping and false starting. And I was all of those things when I should have been spending that time making sure that I leaned into the curve, making sure that I was striding out, making sure that I was able to extend my arms. Same time, different use. Are you spending your time walking in worry instead of preparing for what it is that you are able to do? Because the amount of time in which you spend worrying is always at least 100 times longer than the thing in which you are worrying about. The opportunity, the drop off, the pick up, the race, the presentation, it's always exponentially longer. The sleepless nights in anticipation of something small. You want it to be a situation. I knew we were kindred spirits, Alicia. Alicia was a sprinter too. You want to be in a situation where you are thriving for, and I'm not saying that you are never going to worry, please. I'm not going to overpromise that. You are going to worry, but you can't reside in that worry. You can't walk in that worry. You can recognize it and know that you need to take that time back and you need to plan forward based on what you are worrying about. That's not going to happen. I've run this race thousands of times. Never false started, right? All of the worrying, all of the fiction that I was telling myself that was now residing between my ears was taking room and place for all of the things that I should be preparing for, to reduce that risk, to eliminate the risk, to focus my energy, my time, my enthusiasm, my power in what it is that I was capable of doing. Versus things in which I could not control that were occupying my time, 10 times the amount of time than what it is that I was nervous about. So for me, I want you to be in a space. I want you to pay attention to what it is that you are doing and what it is that you are thinking about, knowing you cannot control everything, knowing that the worry will visit you. But my goal for all of you is that you do not spend any second longer than necessary walking in your worry. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and this is it. If you think that anyone in your life needs a little bit of inspiration who is worrying and hemming and hawing over what they cannot control, please make sure that you share this with them. If you are interested in learning how to scream your dream and finding your voice, join me on Monday, February 22nd at 6 p.m. Eastern. The link is within the actual comments. LinkedIn, I'll make sure that you guys get a new post so you're able to sign up as well. If you are interested in becoming a member of our Scream Your Dream community, there's so many different opportunities to meet with me. We meet up at least twice a week, and then we really focus on what it is that you need to say, who you are, what you want, and why you deserve it. So you can no longer whisper your wishes, so you can in fact scream your dream. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We do it through our growing community, our engaging content, and our real connections. I meet with you Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern to share a morning message, to give you inspiration for the day, but keep you motivated each and every day. My hope is for all of you to follow, fan, and like us everywhere you find at This Is It TV, and log on to thisisittv.com for more information. A wonderful catalog of new content can be found at thisisit.tv. So definitely watch now, hang out. Hi, John. Good to see you. Oh, my goodness. All my old and wonderful friends. So good to see you. It is so important, guys, for you to lean into all that you can do and refuse to walk in worry. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.